Soldier. This is where the story begins. A soldier has no decisions to make, no stars on his shoulder. But he is the first to charge into the fire, and the last to retreat. Before he carries his weapon, he goes through hellish training that lasts 6 months, running in the mud, crawling under barbed wire, and obeying orders without question. In most armies, 80% of soldiers spend their lives without being promoted to an officer. Why? Because they are the backbone of the war, not its brains. In the October War of 1973, Egyptian soldiers were the true heroes, crossing the canal under a hail of shells to open the way for victory. But the question remains, why would a young man risk his life for a simple salary? The answer, honor and belonging. Corporal. The man who brings order to chaos. The first step on the military ladder after the soldier. The word corporal, arif, comes from the idea of introducer, or the person in charge of a small group. A corporal is not a high-ranking leader, but he is the link between the soldier and the sergeant. His mission is to enforce discipline and relay orders. In modern armies, a soldier needs 2 years of distinguished service to become a corporal. A striking statistic. 70% of small battles depend on the decisions of corporals because they are the closest to the soldiers. In the battles of the Vietnam War, it was the corporal who decided to save the platoon or let it perish in the jungle. You might ask, why is his position so important, despite his low rank? Because he is the backbone of control over the ranks. Sergeant. The eye that sees what the general does not. A sergeant is not just a rank. He is the true non-commissioned officer. The word's origin is supervision, and his role is to be the eye of the commander on the field. The sergeant leads dozens of soldiers and is concerned with their training, equipment, and protection. In some armies, like the American one, the sergeant is called the backbone of the army. Statistically, 50% of sergeants spend more than 10 years in service before promotion. In the Battle of Fallujah, it was the sergeants who led complex attacks in the narrow alleys. A final question. Who do you trust more in battle? The general or the sergeant? First sergeant, the old guard. A heavy rank. The first sergeant is the right hand of the field commander. The meaning of his name. The first among sergeants and the most experienced. In Arab armies, the first sergeant is often the commander of an entire company. Statistic. The average years of service before this promotion exceeds 15 years. In the Gulf War, the first sergeants managed the field battles, while the officers were in the rear command centers. The question, why does he deserve the highest salary? Because he sometimes decides the life or death of dozens of soldiers.